and welcome to this extraordinary evening lecture. I've been trying for years to get this many people to my morning lecture. I know that all I needed to do was claim we're having a Christmas party. I would have done it years ago. I would like to tell you a story tonight. You might consider it a bedtime fairy tale. My story starts in my childhood, on a cold day in my homeland, room 521 of the model. A couple of years earlier, the Americans had invented the space pen so that they could write in space, and the Russians had laughed because we had used pencils. I had one of these space pencils, which I will refer to now just as a pencil, which I kept with my other non-space pencils, and it was very dear to me, at least as dear as any pencil can be. And on this sad day, I came to my office and sat at my desk only to find that my pencils had been cruelly jumbled overnight. Very good. Alas, it was a great horror, and so I naturally set about that day to come up with my greatest work yet, a new algorithm for sorting my pencils so that this would never be a problem again. Conventional sorting algorithms are just not fast enough. Quick sort is of order n log m. I needed something faster, a quicker sort, if you will. I had, however, just finished reading Richard P. Fine-Thinking's many-world interpretation of quantum mechanics when the answer struck me. Given a set of sortable sortees, we must make a quantum shuffling of them. We then get a set of universes containing all the different orders of the sortees. How do we then make sure that our universe is the one with the correctly ordered sortees? Simple. If the sortees aren't sorted in our universe, we destroy the universe. All that is left is the universe with the sortees correctly sorted in order one time. Very good. I can have my pencils sorted after all, and physics can be done. Of course, this is all theoretical. I never did get round to finding a way to destroy the universe. I leave this as an exercise to the students. And on that note, I end my fairy tale. And now I head to bed, also known as the narrating booth. Very good.
Yes! This is it! After many years of putting up with terrible conversation and awful personal hygiene, I can finally leave this place. The final piece of my master plan is clear to me now. People call me mad for practicing textile art. But I'll show them who's really mad when this 100% natural shag bar rug is made of course from the most luxurious fibres available to man, physicist hair. Physicists' lack of socializing mean they never come out, and so their hair's not damaged by the sun. My only problem was how to sort the physicist's hair fast enough before they spoil. But now Dima has told me the answer, and all I have to do is destroy the universe. And luckily enough, I already have such a universe-destroying machine. I've been developing.
Oh, no. Drink my coffee. I find it awfully inappropriate that people try to make tea with me.
It was right under their nose the whole time. I shall wait until tomorrow and commit my plans straight away when the physicists wake up and arrive for work.
And so everyone slept well that night, especially the evil Tracy. It is now the next day, 3 p.m. to be precise. The students are starting to turn up. As the great saying goes, a bus station is where a bus stops. A train station is where a train stops. On my desk, I have a workstation. Anyway, evil Tracy is just about to unveil her very good plan.
And so, MC Payne, I spent all evening typing out my resignation letter, which I'm handing to you now. I would have done it quicker, but someone I'd use up all the Darwin credits trying to calculate the energy levels of helium again, on the way to the ground state of helium again.
I never did helium!
What? Let me get a rewind, or I mean, implement the time reversal operator. You're leaving, Tracy. Oh dear, well, you must know that we all think you have done wonders around here, so best of luck and all that. Let me assemble the physicist to wish you farewell. Apply the physicist assembling operator. Well, Tracy, I guess this is the end.
Yes, I suppose it is. It is the end of this universe. We're in the wrong order. Destroy!
Okay, fine. Implementing universe destroying sequence number 4. And finally, forget to wash out the cups properly, and done. Yeah.
And so the first universe is destroyed. It is surprisingly easy, really. I should have known. Very good. End of scene. New universe, please. And now we introduce our two helpless lovebirds, or love dogs. Wasn't this supposed to be a parody of 101 Dalmatians?
Where are we? What am I going to do? I'm going to be late for my rowing outing. I'm never late for anything. Rongo, help us!
Never fear, Gregita. DJ Paul is here. I will use my magical linear scaling DJ methods. I learned from the great MC Payne to ascertain where we are.
Oh, look at this one. Look what landed in the dungeon.
I reckon it was those two from my history lessons. They must be the ugly transistors of the Alpine Alps, Gen and Felix. One never sees one without the other, and they're always the a Machiavellian plans to take over the world, or at least Churchill College. Sort of like a cheap version of Pinky and the Brain.
Excuse me, where are we?
Look at this one. She would make the perfect male lead for a German pornographic movie. Look at that moustache.
Oh, I'm surprised you've noticed. I've been working on my facial hair for Movember. Look at those ridiculously tight jeans.
A carefully crafted thousand hair. Scored the depths and heights of Bavaria, interviewed legions of lederhosen-wearing Alpine horn players. But I have never seen anyone as perfect as her for this world. Him, sorry.
My calculations predict that we're in Mike Towler's monastery in Tuscany.
Ugh, Mike Towler. Every single year, he gives an expletive-filled, ridiculous lecture to first-year students about how to use me. I'm just sitting there in a corner, minding my own business, but oh no. If you don't grind the coffee milliseconds before putting the cup under the bottle, you just end up drinking cold shite like Tracy has just got me to destroy another couple of universes. Hopefully Mike Tower has been flung into a universe where the only shops there are Costas.
You mean like the one we're actually in now?
Yes, well, anyway, how are we going to get out?
Oh. It's Jonathan Keeling, the fairy god particle.
I'll felt you through remaining credits from the Castep slush fund, and all will be well.
Never fear. I will use my coarse-grained, optimized QMMM methods to open a portal to another dimension.
Oh, Daddy, I can't even understand how that makes sense. Where would this be without you?
Probably actually in physics, and not stupid bio rubbish. All those computational people. Think think they're all that, just because what they do is actually useful. Apart from the QMC students, yeah, at least they don't do anything useful. They might as well be studying polaritons or cold fusion.
I've done it! The portal is open!
Oh, Daddy!
"101 physicists fell into a bar."
Is this some kind of joke?
Well,
Because I'm getting fed up of this. Just last night, this bloody square came in with a circle in tow. Never seen them before. Oh, and here they are again.
You are round.
Out, now.
I'll fix this. I'll just destroy this universe and we can start again. In fact, while I'm at it, I might as well just destroy a whole bunch and get this plot moving along. Announcement: 4 universes now remaining. Restarting the scene without a terrible joke.
If any of you are going to start ordering half a pint, and third of a pint, and quarter, and on like those obnoxious mathematicians who think they're funny or something, you can leave. Otherwise, what can I get you?
2 margarita pizzas would be great.
Oh, I'm sorry, we only have fermionic pizzas tonight. You'll have to pick a different second one.
Probability of universe imploding in the next minute, 0.76. Anyone for a latte? I can do this amazing 5-layer delight with just something that's a bit cheeky, seeing as it's a Friday.
There's only 4 universes left. Quickly, how are we going to stop this one Tracy from destroying this universe?
well, it's not hard. You have to sort the physicists by hair.
Oh yeah, I know. Here's a trick I learned from my supervisor. Apply the physicist assembling operator. Okay.
That's the idea! That's it!
They're sorted. The physicists are sorted by the hair distribution function.
No, they are not.
Oh, yes, they are.
No, they are not.
Oh, yes, they are.
No, they are not.
No! Do something!
Well, I could have done that.
You foolish PhD students! You have done my work for me, just as I knew you would!
I'd like to see you use CASTEP to solve this one.
Well, actually, if we just adjust the parameters.
No! Where is it possibly smooth protein surfaces be?
Holy St. Margaret! I suppose it's only the first years that can't operate the TCM coffee machines without me. Oh well, here I suppose it's Michael Butcher saves the day again. I'll just SSH in through the coffee machine.
You're what? The frothy stuff tires me out. Be careful with that lever. Stop! Stop! I take everything back. I want my obsessive compulsive Mike Towler. He knows how to push my buttons.
Okay, got it. If I just comment out this bit and insert a falling.
Insert a what?
Here, Tracy will be propelled into the last remaining universe, and we can all go back to TCM, where I can finally write in 4 down on the crossword. If only you had stored your code on a Windows machine, Tracy, I'd have been far too repulsed to near it. Time for drinks!
Very good. And now we're near the end of our fairy tale. But back in TCM late on Friday night, our physicists still have some non-condensed matter to resolve.
Gregita, I've been meaning to tell you for a long time. I think I love you. I want you to be my Pierre, to my Marie. Of course, I'll be the more famous one in this relationship. You can still work from my shadow.
Daddy, I think I love you too. I want to be your Fabian and be your only woman that loves my ensue. I want to be your conserved nurse current. I want to do kinky approximations with you all night.
Sounds exciting. I can't wait to get my hand on your Boogaloo bonds and explore your potential energy landscape.
But how will we ever know if we're compatible together?
I know. We'll just have to find out what our commutator is. Crap. Rongo, will you have me back?
No chance. I can cope with you betraying me like that, and I can cope with the horrendous physics dirty talk. I even quite like it. But I can't cope with that terrible operator joke. Look, you got all those other minions to help you out with doing it as well, poor folk. No, I think that's the last straw. I've had enough. I'm going to join Gen and Felix at the monastery.
And with that, our love-struck heroes party raised and had a most merry Christmas. Of course, Christmas was in fact fun that year. Although not too fun, the uncertainty principle, of course, meaning that at Christmas a family cannot simultaneously be close together and having uninterrupted fun. Tracy was banished to her universe, which suited her fine, thanks to Dr. Rutter adding code to the coffee machine, making it snow the purest physicist hair every Christmas day. And in another universe somewhere, a group of 3 PhD students wrote a panto that was actually a parody of 101 Dalmatians. But that's a story for another time. And me, well, I went back to my office on Christmas Eve. Got dressed in my uniform. To bring joy to the world.